Genesis chapter 22. Now it came to pass after these things that Yahweh tested Abraham and said to him,
Abraham?
And he said,
Here I am.
And he said,
Take now your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah, and sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains, of which I shall tell you.
So Abraham rose early in the morning, and saddled his donkey, and took 2 of his young men servants with him, and Isaac his son. And he split the wood for the burnt offering, and arose, and went to the place which Yahweh had told him. Then, on the 3rd day, Abraham lifted his eyes, and saw the place afar off. And Abraham said to his young men servants,
Stay here with the donkey. The young man and I will go yonder and worship, and we will come back to you.
So Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering, and put it on Isaac his son. And he took the fire in his hand and a knife, and the 2 of them went together. And Isaac spoke to Abraham his father and said,
My father.
And he said,
Here I am, my son.
And he said,
I see the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering?
And Abraham said,
My son, Yahweh will provide for himself the lamb for a burnt offering.
And the 2 of them went on together. Then they came to the place of which Yahweh had told him. And Abraham built an altar there, and placed the wood in order. And he bound Isaac his son, and laid him on the altar, on top of the wood. And Abraham reached out his hand to take the knife to slay his son. But the Malach of Yahweh called to him from heaven and said,
Abraham, Abraham.
And he said,
Here I am.
And he said,
Do not lay your hand on the young man, nor do anything to him. For now I know that you reverence Yahweh, seeing you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me.
Then Abraham lifted his eyes and looked, and there behind him was a ram caught in the thicket by its horns. So Abraham went and took the ram, and sacrificed it up for a burnt offering instead of his son. And Abraham called the name of that place Yahweh Yireh. Yahweh will provide, as it is said to this day, on the mountain of Yahweh it will be provided. Then the Malach of Yahweh called to Abraham a second time out of heaven, and said,
By myself I have vowed, says Yahweh, because you have done this thing, and have not withheld your son, your only son, surely in blessing I will bless you, and in multiplying I will multiply your descendants as the stars of the skies, and as the sand on the seashore, and your descendants shall possess the gates of their enemies. Through your seed all the nations of the earth shall be blessed, because you have obeyed my voice.
So Abraham returned to his young men servants, and they rose and went together to Beersheba, and Abraham stayed at Beersheba. Now it came to pass after these things that it was told to Abraham, saying, Behold, Milcah also has borne children to Nahor your brother, Uts his firstborn, Boots his brother, Kemuel the father of Aram, Chesed, Hatzo, Pildash, Yidlaf, and Bethuel. And Bethuel begot Rebekah. These 8 Milcah bore to Nahor, Abraham's brother. His concubine, whose name was Rumah, also bore Tabah, Gaham, Thash, and Makah.